Yo, welcome. You're tuning into the philosophy how to expand and build upon your creativity, imagination, and innovation. Everything is created twice, first in the mind, then becomes reality. Whatever the mind and man can conceive and believe can achieve. So you go out there day after day to do the work. The confidence to put yourself out there boldly, authentically, even though the success, the creation has not arrived, has not manifested just yet. But you know that the richest place on earth, the richest real estate on earth, is the graveyard where dreams and goals and everything else die along with you because you did not have the courage, the 10x massive action, the frameworks. But that's all going to change because you're going to have the courage, the 10x massive action, and this go-getter energy to go out there and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. This is the method, the philosophy known as create like a God. This your man's Jaron Mitchell, aka Jaron Winning Mitchell. And today's topic I'll be talking about today is why you become what you think about. I talked about this a little bit on I think the third episode actually. So in the third episode, we talked about that, which is you're the how and why you are the co-creator on your own reality, and you have creativity. Every single one of us on this planet is creative individuals. Every single one of us is creating something. Okay, good things. Not good. Well, good things do happen to good people, but bad things happen to good people. Okay, bad things are going to happen. You got to prepare for the bad times. Okay, you're going to have to prepare for them. But today we're talking about why do you become what you think about. As we mentioned, I talked about a little bit yesterday, but I got some more. I'm looking at my notes right here. There's some more stuff that I didn't talk about. Okay, there's a little bit of stuff that I didn't talk about. So right here, the quote from Buddha, you become what you think about. Earn Nightingale, you become what you think about most of the time. Okay, same thing with the book Proverbs, which is as a man, Proverbs 23:7, which is as someone thinks with himself, so is he, which I think that's King James Version. But then you have the book As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Is a man is literally what he thinks. His character being the complete sum of his thoughts. Okay, of his thoughts. Okay, so we could talk about this. You could probably look up a lot of these philosophers, sages, and different other people. If it says it in the Bible, let me see. Let me see if it actually says something like that in the Quran. I'm not sure if it does. I know the Quran's a little bit different. It says it's more of it gives a little histories and stories and stuff like that, which I actually need to get better of telling stories with you guys because people remember. A lot of us remember things through story than through just plain information that's given to us. Sorry, you guys. We become what we think about in Quran. I just want to make sure, see what it says in the Quran. It's pretty dope. Let me see. Oh yeah, look at that. ChatGPT brought the verses up. Thoughts and actions shape outcomes. Again, like I mentioned, we're gonna talk about one of the episodes right here, which is the Quran. I think it's chapter 13:11. That's the surah. Indeed, Allah will not change the conditions of people until they change what is in themselves. Okay, what's is in themselves, what's within, man. So you have to do it. And I think in the book, The Outwitting the Devil, by the way, I know it's a book that Napoleon has. He died. He died in 1970. Published. This was like right after he wrote Think and Grow Rich, but he ended up dying in 1970. This ended up getting published in 2011. I love that freaking book. That's a great book. And the devil, I think he quote unquote interviews the devil, right? So the devil actually says that he basically gets people it's basically you got to raise your high vibrations. Okay, you got to raise your vibrations because something about his opposition doesn't like a weak mind or something like that. So you got to go change yourself. And there's some other things we could talk about that later. So I'm gonna talk about all this stuff that I got and more educated more about Islam. I give my thoughts on that as well. So and also there's another verse in the Quran. Let me see. That was accountability of intention. No, the thoughts and action shape outcomes, which is the law of cause and effect. You reap what you sow. Accountability of intention, and know that Allah knows what is within yourself. So be aware of him. Accountability of intentions. Okay, that's intentions, a power of positive thinking and gratitude. If you are grateful, I'll surely increase you in your favor. That's Quran 14, chapter 14, verse 7 or surah 7. But the one I mentioned right here is in accountability and intention, and know that Allah knows what is within yourself and be aware of Him, which is Quran chapter 2, verse 235. This reminds of our thoughts, intentions, and knows by Allah and play a role in shaping our spiritual journey. Okay, and same thing with indeed, Allah will not change the conditions of people until they change what is in themselves. Quran chapter 13:11. This verse highlights the importance of inner transformation in thoughts and attention of a precursor of it, external change. So positivity. Let me see the power of positive thinking and gratitude. I'm gonna repeat this again. If you are grateful, and I'll surely increase your favor. Quran chapter 14. Verse 7, I think Surah 7, still learning. Okay. Maintaining positive thoughts and gratitude align with the idea of our focus and mindset influencing our experiences. Okay. And let me see, there's 4, guarding the heart and mind. This is Quran chapter 2, verse 10. In their hearts is a disease. So Allah always increase their disease. And for them, it is painful punishment because they habitually, which is in parentheses, used to lie. Okay, this verse illustrates how negative thoughts and corrupt intentions can worsen one's state, affecting both their spiritual and worldly life. Man, this is some good wisdom right here. These principles reflect the Quranic understanding that our inner world, thoughts, beliefs, and intentions plays in a significant role in determining our actions, characters, and ultimately our destiny. Okay, says it in the Quran too. Okay, it says it in the Quran too. God bless Allah. I mean, God bless, man. I said Allah. Wrong with me. God bless us, man. So again, it says in the Bible. So we got attention. This is the whole thing I'm bringing about, man. There's nothing new. We're the co-creators of our own reality. We're the master of fate. We're the captain of our soul. We're made in the image of God. We have to take full possession of our own mind, and we have to think for ourselves, man. And not even that. We're dominate thoughts of our mind, right? We dominate thoughts of our mind, and we become what we think about. We got to shape our mind, shape our mindset, because if we don't shape our mindset, it can lead us to a dark path, thinking negative all the time. And again, according to the book Outwin the Devil, the devil's enemies is the 2% of the population who are thinkers, who take full possession of their own mind. Okay. And Napoleon Hill was ahead of his time at that time. So the Quran right here actually talks about guard the heart, the mind, power of positive thinking, gratitude. There's a book, The Secret, talk about gratitude, practice gratitude, being grateful. We could use all these principles. And again, we got to go by God's laws. Okay. His laws of the universe that he created, that we must go abide by, and we must use those to our advantage. Okay. And that's why I'm here to create this podcast as well, is for you to take full possession of your own mind. And let's go ahead and get to point number 1. Today's topic that I'm talking about today is why you become what you think about. Okay, point number 1, which is the law of attraction. Okay, the law of attraction state likes attract like. Some of you may think, oh, the law of attraction don't exist. I don't believe in the law of attraction. I don't believe in this law of attraction. We don't just think our thoughts and things just come to us. No, we have to take action. Okay, law of attraction. It has action within that word. We must take action. Okay, like attracts like. It's like a law, which is going to be a second law. I'm going to give you point number 2, but we still on point number 1. Okay, so the law of vibration. The law of vibration states everything in the universe is vibrating at a certain frequency. Nothing never rests. The law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created and destroyed. And when it transforms one form to another. Okay, this is all part of it. Law of vibration. Everything gives out sound. Everything is moving. This computer right here, if you guys can see it, this mic, all this can see it right here, right? All this right behind me, all this and within this is vibrating. My energy, my body's vibrating. Okay, my body's giving off energy. We energetic beings, energy. Okay, we're moving. That's what energy is, moving. If we're just sitting still and stagnant, guess what? That is death. Okay, we need to be moving. This every soul will taste death. But hey, let's make a good impact on this world for others, and for the others to take full possession of their own mind. Law of attraction state likes attract like. This is nothing new. I think before it got popular, Napoleon Hill brought it up in his book, The Laws of Success. He brought up the law of attraction. There's much other laws too in this book, which is another one, which is law of attraction and law of vibration. All that is like a magnet. It's a magnet and all that stuff, right? It's a magnet that you're attracting. Okay, so you're attracting. You're like a magnet. Okay, you got this. This this charisma. This enthusiasm. Okay, which enthusiasm, which is derived from Greek, which I don't remember the actual Greek word, which is possessed by God. So enthusiasm, being enthusiastic. Okay, so this is what point number one, and this is the reason why you become what you think about, because like attracts like. If you start thinking about certain things, you must take action. But if you don't take action, guess what? Fear, not taking action, not taking massive action, not taking normal. There's 4 levels of action. Not taking taking no action. Go ahead and take you do something, but you retreat. Take a normal levels of action, and you take massive 10x action, which I got on my hat right here. 10x, baby. Okay, shout out to Grant Cardone. But anyways, we must take full possession of our own mind, but we gotta know these laws. We gotta know, okay? Because law of attraction, I know the book, The Secret. Oh, I'll think about it. I'm just gonna sit here and think. I'm not gonna do nothing. No, you must take action. Take law of attraction. You must give that intentions, okay? But take initiative. Go out and take initiative. You know what you want. You visualize it. You see it. You visualizing what you have. You practicing every single day, building your mindset, building your visualization, building the mindset every single day, which is part of DMO's daily method of operations. You must build the mindset. You must write your goals, write what you're grateful for. What else? Visualizing. Okay. Meditation, meditating on it, visualizing it, seeing it, acting like you already have it right now. Then after that, you must go out and take action. You must use the law of inertia. You must go out there and use, I would say, the law of action. Point number 2, today's topic that we're talking about today is why you become what you think about. Okay. Point number 2, which is the law of magnetism, which is, this is the book. Okay. This is the law of, this is leadership. Okay. So this is the book from John C. Maxwell, which is the law of magnetism, ineffable laws of leadership. Them and the power, the people will follow you. This is being leadership. This is leadership right here, right? I mentioned about magnet. You are a magnet. The law of magnetism, the law of this is law of magnetism. There's another law. I can't think of it in my head, but you are like a magnet. Okay. So again, who are you going? Let me meet these points right here that I got, the law of magnetism, on this law of this leadership law, which is you are who you are is who you attract. Who are you? What type of person are you? Do you want to attract the people that you want to attract? Who are you? If you want to attract the people, the big players, the big people, you must become that big player. You must act like that big player. This is not fake it till you make it. What would that person would do? What will you do? You must act on it right now. You must visualize that person you want to be. Be careful what you wish for. You must become that person, visualize it, and take that actions what that person will do. Okay. And I got the second point right here is you attract people who you I got the other bullet point. You attract people who you possess the same qualities you do. Okay. If you think about it, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? If you're a druggie, if you smoking weed, doing all this drug, drinking alcohol all single goddamn day, guess what? You might be the 6th person if you're your friends. Okay, if you're attracting those type of people, you might attract that into your relationship as well. That relationship may be a drunk, or that person just somehow is attracted to you being a drunk because of their previous relationships and stuff like that, because they're attracted to those type of people. What they're doing, they're attracting. You must say no. Sometimes you got to say no to people, but you attract the people that possess the same qualities you do. You must change your qualities. Yes, you can. You can change your qualities. You can change your character. You can change your personality, because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I like your personality. Yeah. I'm with you, man. I like my personality too. I like it, but I developed this personality. I became this person. I built and worked on my mindset every single day. So you got to change your qualities. You got to change you. What is the best version of yourself that you want to be in? Okay. Go ahead with this other bullet point right here with the law of magnetism. Who are you? Who you are is who you attract. If you want better people, become the kind of person you desire to attract. Okay. Become that person that you want to attract, who you want to be attracted to. You attract who you are. Okay. Again, this is why you become what you think about. You got to change your thoughts, change your mind, change your character, change your thoughts, change your habits, change your mindset, change your character. I think that's the quote on that. I have to look that up. Okay. So then you had another point right here with the law of magnetism. If you think people you attract could be better, then it's time for you to improve yourself. I mentioned that. You got to improve yourself. You want to attract better people in your business. You want to attract better people with your clients. You must change the message. You must change and improve yourself. And there's a quote by, I think, Jaron, education will make you a living. General education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. This is why, for me, in my relationship, everything like that, personal development. Work on your personal development every single day. This podcast is a kind of a personal development podcast. Okay, personal development / other stuff as well. Okay, this is a mix between stuff. So you must work on your personal development every single day. That's why I noticed this with artists. No one doesn't want to work with an asshole. If you're an artist, no one doesn't. If you're artist, you're hard to work with. No one want to work with you. If you're a customer and you're doing things to other, the word's gonna get around. You're difficult and all that. Word's gonna get around other restaurants, other places, and people don't want to do service with you because you're hard to deal with, or you just some people can try to figure it out, but some people you do not want to do business with. Okay. So another thing is with this is if you think people are negative, you better check your attitude. Okay. Better check your attitude, man. Check your attitude. Okay. This person's negative. Okay. How about me? Am I negative? Am I being negative? What's about me that I need to change? If this person's being negative, what do I need to change? What can I do to be better and have this Mamba mentality? Shout out to Kobe. Rest in peace. Okay. Who you get isn't determined by what you want. It's determined by what you are. Who are you? Who are the person you need to become to make an impact? Who are the person that you need to attract that big client, to attract that person, that relationship? Who do you need to become? And yes, you're gonna go through people that's attracted by you, but they might not be for you. Okay, that's why I think in dating and all that, I give this little analogy in dating. When you start dating and see people like that, you're going to have to swift through the trash. You're going to have to swift through the bad people. You're going to have to swift through some things that people ain't going to work out. People's not right for you. You're going to have to see if it's good. And if not, guess what? You got to at least talk to people. Same thing with following sales, right? You got to start following up people. I'm not saying you swift through the trash. But this is like people not going to be interested in you. They got their own stuff going on. You're going to get that one person that's going to say yes. Okay, let's go ahead and get to point number 3. Today's topic that I'm talking about today is why you become what you think about. Okay, point number 3 is taking control of your own thoughts. Again, I talked about this. Take control of your own thoughts. Okay, I talked about it, I think, in number 2, episode 3. Take control of your own thoughts. Okay, take control of your own thoughts, man. You must take full possession of your own mind. You're the master of your fate. You're the captain of your soul. Okay, you want to be that person. You want to be the person that be the dominant thoughts of their mind, and don't let temporary defeat get you. Don't let other things happen to you. Being resilient, pushing through that challenge, pushing through that struggle, and all of a sudden you end up making it because you did not let that happen to you. You did not give up. Most people give up in this life. Some people, I was talking about, I think some people say, oh, why you have to have a 9 to 5? Not everyone can be a person at 9 to 5. Some people just don't know. Some people just comfortable 9 to 5. I don't want to work a 9 to 5, which 9 to 5 is temporary. That's how I look at it. 9 to 5 is temporary. The salary is temporary. Use that money as your funding source to build your business, to build what you got going on that you want to have to be full time. But take control of your own thoughts. Take control of your own thoughts. Take full possession of your own mind. We think about between 60 to 90 thoughts per day, or 8,000 thoughts per day. Most of it subconsciously. Okay, the subconscious mind does not care what is true or false. It will accept it as your reality. It does not care. So if you want to be the greatest person in the world, you want to be this type of person, build that in your subconscious mind, and you become that person, and you'll become the dominating thoughts of your mind. Point number 4. Today's topic that I'm talking about today is why you become what you think about. Point number 4, I got a quote from Aristotle. Okay, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but an habit. Okay, this is Aristotle. Okay, we are what we repeatedly do. How many habits you got? You must change your habits. You must change your thoughts, your thought habits. Okay, you gotta change your thoughts, because when you're thinking, oh, I suck, I'm worthless, this and that, all the freaking time becomes your dominating thoughts of your mind. Then you moping, you're in self-pity and all that. We need to get yourself out of that. You need to get yourself out of self-pity. Go ahead, self-pity. Go ahead and do affirmation. Go ahead and read books. Go ahead and listen to podcasts like this. Go ahead and listen to you got work on your game. Read books. Feed your mind with healthy things. The law of input and output. Okay. What you put in, you put out. We are, in the health terms, we are what you eat. So the information, the data that we get, that's who we are. We must change our thoughts, and we must change our habits. Our habitual thoughts, we change our thoughts, change our habits, and I think it's change our character, and we control our destiny. I know there's a quote on that, but let's go ahead. And again, I got bad habits. Everybody got bad habits, right? Every single one of us got bad habits. We got to work on those bad habits. We got to change those bad habits, and we got to make sure that we make some changes within our habits. Okay, we got to do that. I think another good book, which is Atomic Habits. You can go to jaronmitchell.com/read, or I might have a link, which is jaronmitchell.com/Amazon influencer. Because I'm in an influencer program, and you guys can go ahead and look at my book list or any other products that I use, and you go ahead and check that out with that book, Atomic Habits. If you want to support the channel or podcast, or just support me in general, I'll get a little commission out of that. Just letting you guys know, for real. So go ahead and help me out. Get that book. If you listen to it, get the book right now. Okay, there's other habits. There's also compound effect. Okay, go ahead and get the compound. Things compound. Okay, things compound over time. Same thing with habits. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to point number 5, which today's topic I'm talking about today is sorry, I'm rushing through these because I got to get to work pretty soon. Point number 5, which today's topic I'm talking about today is why you become what you think about. Okay, our decisions and choices design our life. This is what I realize. Okay, our decisions are choices. This is the law of cause and effect. That's what this is. Law of cause and effect. And I think, let me see, quote, which I mentioned, I talked about at the beginning of this introduction right here with this, which is the Quran, thoughts and action shape the outcome. This is basically law, cause and effect, the law of reap what we sow. Okay, indeed, Allah will not change the conditions of people until they change what is in themselves. Quran, verse 13, or Surah. Let me know if you're a Muslim. Listen, I got to pray pretty soon too. In themselves. Okay, this is chapter 13 through 11. Okay, the verse highlights the importance of inner transformation, thoughts and intentions, and precursor of external change. Okay, so as we got to do, law got to change. We got to change our actions. If we don't not like what's going on right now, what are we doing wrong? Okay, take action. And guess what? When you start taking action, you start visualizing, actually doing the mental, the inner work, and then you can do the outer work and actually taking action. Things will change. Things will definitely change within yourself. Ouch. Things will definitely change within yourself. Sorry, I hit my water bottle right here with my good Kangen water. Okay, things will change within yourself. Okay, so you got to work in the inner world, your inner self. You must change yourself, and it says like in the Quran. Okay, the Quran right here. Sorry, I'm just bringing it up right here on ChatGTP that I just looked at for. So indeed, Allah will not change the conditions of people until change is in themselves. Okay, you got to change yourself. God gave you free will. Okay, he gave you free will. You are the master of your fate. You're the captain of your soul. We must go by his laws if we want to make change and use them laws to our advantage. We want to do that. We want to use those laws to an advantage so we can possibly have a great life. And not everything's going to be 100% accurate. We're going to visualize it. We're going to take action. It may not be 100% there, but we will get most of it. God will give it to you. Okay. Again, change your thoughts, the decisions that we make a decision on can change and design our life. So the choices that we make too. So we got to make sure we make the right choices, the right decision. If we make the wrong ones, we can still adjust. We can still change. Hopefully that is not too late. If you don't do nothing, don't make dumb decisions or anything that's stupid that could violate to our rights to our fellow men, women, and children. Okay, point number 6. Today's topic that I'm talking about today is why you become what you think about. Point number 6 is the subconscious mind. Okay, there's a book, I think by Joseph Murphy. Okay, the power of your subconscious mind. I mentioned this before. The powers of your subconscious mind. Right, I'm thinking about it. Right, not thinking about it. We're breathing. Right, I'm not thinking about it. The subconscious mind is doing it. My heartbeat. Right. It's moving. My subconscious mind, I'm not thinking about it. The conscious mind just does it. It just does it automatically. It's autopilot. That's what it is. The subconscious mind does not care what is true or false. It does not care. But as long as you accept it in your reality, that's when it does not. The subconscious mind don't care. So it will accept anything that's true or fantasy. It will accept it in your reality. Okay, you can accept it. You got to change your thoughts, change your subconscious mind. Same thing with everything in this system. You can say this body that I have, your body that we have is working perfectly, is designed to do perfectly. We're not thinking about it, it just does it. Okay, or the digestion system. We're not just, oh yeah, let me just digest this food. Think, digest. No, we're not thinking about it. It just happens. Okay, this is the power of your subconscious mind. There's some other things with the subconscious mind as well, which I'm a little skeptical on it. But the subconscious mind will protect you. If you build, that's why you got like basketball. You practice, right? You practice every single day of basketball, the military. You do certain things. Oh, another thing with the subconscious mind too. You know, you got I believe is reciting, right? You're reciting. You know, you recite reciting the Quran, right? You're reciting the verse. You know, like billions of Muslims know the full Quran through their head. That's freaking amazing to me. That's freaking a miracle. But through their head. Okay, subconsciously they know it. They build the same thing like a song, right? You repeat it over and over again. Now it's built in your subconscious mind. You just think about it. Okay, it just comes automatically. You just know because it's just built in your mind because you have it. You have it. So again, the subconscious mind, you become what we think about, and as someone thinks within himself, so is he. That's in the Bible. Again, that's what I have right here on these notes. And some of this stuff I'm just going off the cuff because I read a lot of it, a lot of information that I got, and a lot of stuff that I understand this, but I must use it for myself. And again, with Think and Grow Rich, make sure, or anything like that, your subconscious mind works better right when you wake up first thing in the morning. So that's why you don't need to be scrolling, mindlessly scrolling first thing in the morning, and before you go to sleep, visualize it. Visualize what you want, anything that you want in your life. Visualize what you want. Visualize that. Also, there's meditations. You can do that as well. And use your subconscious mind as your advantage. Use it. God gave us these laws. He gave us a brain. Use it to our advantage. Let us use it. So let's go ahead and recap today's topic. Today is why you become what you think about. I mentioned over here in the Quran. I just wanted to know, which was off the cuff. I was just thinking about this on this live, about anything that what the Quran says about you become what we think about, you know. And it says right here on ChatGPT, the concept of become what we think about aligns with the principles found in the Quran, even though the exact phrase is not stated. The Quran emphasizes the power of thought, intention, in the inner self, and often linking them to action and destiny. And here's a few verses of reflection of the idea. Okay, the first verse, which is thoughts, actions shape your outcome. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of people until they change what is in themselves. Quran chapter 13, verse 11. Okay, or Surah 11. Let me know, Muslims, if I'm getting anything wrong. I still need to educate myself some more. Okay, this verse highlights the importance of inner transformation in our thoughts and intentions and precursor of external of change. Second, accountability for intention. Chapter 2, verse 235. Okay, in quote, and know that Allah knows what is within yourself, so be aware of him, unquote. Okay, this is a reminder of us that thoughts and intentions knows by Allah and plays the role to shape our spiritual journey. Okay, number 3, the power of positive thinking and gratitude. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor. Okay, which is in brackets right there, but that is Quran chapter 14, verse 7. Okay, and maintaining positive thoughts and gratitude align with the idea of our focus and the mindset influence our experience. Okay, number 4, with this introduction right here, guarding the heart and the mind. Quran verse chapter 2, verse 10. And our hearts and disease, in their hearts is a disease, and Allah has increased their disease, and for them it is painful punishment because they have habitually used it to lie. Okay, this is something about guarding our hearts and stuff like that, and our minds. Guard our hearts and our mind. I think the Quran, not the Quran, the Bible says something like that too. And again, the Bible means collections of books, so it's many different books collected in one book. I'm making it to one book, but this right here says this illustrates the negative thoughts and corrupting attention, the worst in the one state, affecting both their spiritual and worldly life. These principles reflect the Quranic understanding of the inner world, and thoughts, beliefs, and intentions play the significant role in determining our action, character, and ultimately our destiny. We are the co-creators of our own reality. We are the master of our fate. We are the captain of our soul. And again, we are made in the image of God. Take full possession of your own mind. In use God's laws to our advantage, so that way we can have a great life for ourselves. And God loves us God wants us to win. God wants success. So that's the introduction with that. Point number one is the law of attraction. Like attracts like. The law of vibration. Everything in the universe is vibrating in a certain frequency. Nothing never rests. Use the law of action as well. Not just thinking, oh my goodness, I'm just going to think this into resistance and don't do nothing. Okay. So again, I didn't mention this. The book, The Waddle, I just coming to my head right now. The book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Waddle, talk about a thinking stuff, a thinking substance. everything in universe, which all things are made. Everything are made with this thinking stuff, which I believe is energy, vibration, you know, in God's creation. Okay, that God is creating. Okay, point number two. Point number two, which is the law of magnetism, which is the book by John C. Maxwell, The Infallible Laws of Leadership. Them and the people will follow you. Okay, this is the law of magnetism of leadership. Who are you? Who are, which is the bullet points right here, is who you are is who you attract. Who you second bullet point, you attract the people who possess the same qualities you do. Third bullet point, you who in you is who you attract. And if you want to be better, become the kind of person you desire to attract. Point bullet point, I believe number 4, which is if you think the people you attract could be better than you, it's time for you to improve yourself. Bullet point number 5. Yeah, number 5, which is if you think your people are negative, you better check your attitude. Your people that working with you, check your attitude. Okay, check your attitude so you can become better and you can train your people a lot better as well. And who you get isn't determined by what you determine by. It says who you. My goodness. Let me try this again. Who you get isn't determined by what you want, is determined by who you are. You become what we think about, and this is a principle mentioned: be, do, have. That's that principle. I didn't mention that earlier. I should have mentioned that earlier. But then we have point number 3, which today's topic I'm talking about today is not talking about, but point number 3 is taking control of your own thoughts, which is taking full possession of your own mind, and you're the dominating thoughts of your mind. So have it with dominating thoughts, with positive stuff. Brainwash yourself, brainwash your own mind, because we think between 60 to 90 thoughts per day. Use affirmations. You think, use those tools to help us take full possession of our own mind and have that stuff to become the positive thoughts, positive thinking, to become the dominant thoughts of our mind. And yes, we got to think logical things. Going to happen, bad things are going to happen to good people, but we must prepare for that. Point number 4, which is which is the habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit, quoted by Aristotle. And I think there's another quote, I can't find it. We become what we think become our habits become our character, and from our character becomes our destiny. I probably got something wrong right there, but we must make some changes, and we are what we do. Make sure you go ahead and grab in the compound effect, and also grab the Atomic Habits, great book as well, and the Power Habits, another great book. And again, you can go to jaronmitchell.com/read, or you can go to jaronmitchell.com/Amazon influencer, and you may be able to see my reading list and everything like that. If I didn't have it right there, it's all good. I will have it sooner or later. Point number 5, what I got right here, which is decisions and choices that we make design our life, create our life. This is the law of cause and effect. Laws of cause and effect. The law of we reap what we sow. And another thing I'll talk about, mention the introduction with the Quran, which is indeed let me see. Indeed, Allah is not changing conditions until someone change within themselves. Maybe I can see if there's a law of reap and sow on here. Do that later, so that way I can have it in my mind. I can just say it off the cuff. Okay, so we got that. Okay, we got the decision choice to make your life. This is the law of the law of cause and effect. You reap what you sow. Same law, same thing. Another law of karma, you can say. If you think about, what is karma? Karma is nothing but energy. Okay, energy you put out in the world, put out in the universe, energy will come back to you tenfold, even if it's bad or negative. But make sure, God knows, use his laws to his advantage. Point number 6, the subconscious mind. Okay, use the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, it does not care what is true or false. It does not care what is between its fantasy or real. It will become your dominant thoughts of your mind. It does not care. So you can go ahead and use it. No, I'm not talking to you, Siri. So you can go ahead and use this conscious mind. Use it to our advantage. God gave us a brain to think for ourselves. Use this. It's a psychology thing. Use this. Use this subconscious mind. Use it, and use it to your advantage for yourself, to create and be not into competitive mindset, into the creator's mindset. Okay, become what you think about, quoted by Buddha. Proverbs verse 23, chapter 23 verse 7, which is, as a man thinketh within himself, so is he. And again, by the book As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Make sure you go ahead and get that book. The quote right here: a man is what he thinks. It is character, being in complete sum of his thoughts. Okay, folks, Again, before I get to that, make sure you guys go ahead. If you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, hit that notification, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Make sure you leave a comment, dislike whatever the video it is with this podcast episode. If you're listening to podcast, Apple Podcasts, any other type of podcast that they have it, leave a 5-star rating and review. Let me know what you know about this episode. And also, we will have a poll about this episode, which I think it will show up only on Spotify. I'm not sure if it does on Apple, but Spotify or the Creators app within podcasts, if you want to create your own podcast as well, owned by Spotify. So make sure you go ahead and see that, check that poll out. And again, folks, is not where we at, it's where we come from. Always create like a God. You're the master of your fate. You're the captain of your soul. You are made in the image of God. So take full possession of your own mind, because God gave you a brain to think for yourself and worship the one true creator, which is Allah. And that's what you got to do. And again, always create like a God at JaronMitchell.com.